The number one thing I want to work on is discipline. The best way to become disciplined is to not look at it as discipline at all. 0%. The best way to become disciplined is to look at everything as a challenge. Okay? So it's like, okay, I challenge you to go do this. So one of the things that I learned is
What's up, guys? This is Jesus Rodriguez from Watch the Matter with me,
I'm Asante Aloshi.
and you're watching
Two guys,
One Garage podcast. What's up, brother? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're here in 2026. I'm pretty excited. I'm very happy to be back. I'm actually very excited for this new year. We have a lot going on, a lot of plans. I've been trying to post a lot more. I think I've been hitting a lot more quotas, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, I know definitely, like, on my Instagram, I'm up to like 25,000 views per day, which is pretty cool. We got a lot more subscribers on the channel. Hopefully we can hit our 50 subscriber goal pretty soon so we can start going live on our channel as well. And yeah, I mean, besides that, I want to apologize ahead of time. I am a little sick, so you might see me take a drink of tea here and there, and my voice might sound a little different, but thank you for tuning in.
All right, well, let's get started, guys. So, first question I want to ask you, what's one of the coolest things that happened to you last year?
Ooh, that's a good question. What's one of the coolest things that happened to me last year? Do you know yours?
Honestly, I'm going to say getting started into YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Doing YouTube, doing this whole entire podcast thing that we're doing right now, this is probably the best idea I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, I've had plans of doing YouTube beforehand, but the problem is it's just an idea, right? Until you actually put thought into it and you put actual action into it, it just stays an idea and it just constantly lingers. So I'm really excited to actually get started in YouTube. And then, yeah, we're taking this serious. Today, we finally got a whole entire new camera set up, which I'm extremely excited about.
Yeah,
Asante
Sante's been wanting this for a very long time, and he wants to go buck wild on the editing and the reels and all that stuff. So I'm happy that he's getting what he wants.
Yeah.
Right?
When you watch some of the best YouTubers, they have like 5, 6, 7, 8 cameras, which is crazy when you really think about it. But you need it because if you're not constantly switching scenes,
You're losing attention.
yeah, you lose attention.
And I mean, I'm going to add to that. I think one of the coolest things for me about what you just said about starting the podcast is that we always used to always talk a lot. Like you're one of my best friends. You're one of the persons I talk to the most. You're actually the person I talk to the most, if we're being real. And the fact that we're spending more time together, you know what I mean? The fact that I get to see you more and we get to, it's one thing to bounce off ideas when you're on the phone or whatever, but when you're in person, the fact that we get to see each other, it's really, really cool. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's something that definitely changed 110% because it'd be like, realistically, I'd probably see Chewy maybe a couple times out of the year.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking,
It was more so always like at car events, like SCCA or a car meet. Very rarely did we like go out to dinner or anything. We talked all the time though, but it was just we're in two different places in our lives. He's grinding. I got a family, and it is what it is. But it's working out, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't be more excited. Could not be more excited.
And I couldn't be more excited to grow with someone like yourself. So I'm grateful and happy about that, brother. So that's a good one for me. That's a hard one, man. That's a hard question for me. I mean, I could say the same thing. I could say that starting YouTube was probably one of the most exciting things for me. But I'm gonna probably say maybe just my kids. My kids. My son turned 5, and my daughter turned 2. And just watching him grow, my daughter talks a lot more now. She communicates a lot with us now, and I love the growth that I'm seeing and the amount of time I'm trying to spend with them. And my son, he's 5, he's gonna start school soon, so I would say probably that. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like a cheesy answer, right?
No, nothing's wrong with family, right? Spend time with family.
But definitely YouTube. The YouTube has really became kind of like a second job. You know what I mean? Like a lot of you people probably watch YouTube and probably watch a minute of it and you're gone. You know what I mean? But you don't know what it takes to film that minute.
Yeah.
You don't know what it takes to edit that minute. So when you guys are watching some content, just give them a like, subscribe. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything. because someone out there behind the camera, they're actually spending a lot of time, sometimes even money, on providing content for you that's totally free on YouTube. And it's just one of those things, like a second job, you know?
Yeah, like one of the last videos I dropped, it was actually we're not even gonna talk about that one. It was a video. It was my very first video I ever dropped on YouTube. It was only a 10-minute video, but it literally took me an entire week just to make that whole entire video. It was from like the filming, the editing, getting the different camera angles. I had to like call my brother. I was like, "Hey, bro, I need someone to drive the car behind me." So it was just like this whole entire process. And you watch the video, and it just goes by like that. You think about it, but yeah,
Right.
that 10 minutes, like I did the same lap around the block like twice. It took me like an whole hour, then just like filming. So it's crazy what goes into just a really quick, short 10-minute video.
And I remember you were telling me that there was one video where you lost all the sound, right? And that's just heartbreaking, guys. When you lose audio or you lose, your footage, it just, your heart sinks.
Yeah, I had to go under.
Because we're trying to be authentic, we're trying to be real, and you can't duplicate that, right?
Yeah, it's like a one and done kind of thing.
But somebody on our live said that the coolest thing they did is they went to the Bahamas.
Oh,
That's
must
really
be
cool,
nice,
That's
right?
really
Must
cool.
be- yeah.
I've always wanted to go to the Bahamas. I guess I went to go see my grandma in Wisconsin, so that was actually up there. I would say that was probably one of the coolest things. I went to go see my grandma. I hadn't seen her in about a year or so that was really, really cool. I got to do that.
So next question I have for you, Chewy.
Let's go, brother.
What is one piece of advice that you can give that you learned from last year?
One piece of advice that I would give you, the viewer, and I think anybody else who's trying to accomplish something, is to just go out and do it. Stop overthinking it. Don't overthink it. When you overthink it, it's almost like, how can I explain myself? Like, you can open the door and leave your house, right? Or you can open the door and then tell yourself, did I bring my wallet? Did I bring my keys? Did I bring my this? Do I have that? Should I take a jacket? Should I take an umbrella because it's gonna rain? You know what I mean? And you're just putting obstacles in front of you to just go out. So I would say more than anything, if you have a goal, if you have a passion, or if you want to pursue something, just do it. I mean, I've been telling Asante about his content creation, how everything and anything is content, and just do it. I told him just do it. That's what I did. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 3 months. Luckily, I'm at like 180 subscribers, but I've been busting out content like crazy. It's not the best. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not the best. And in the beginning, it doesn't even matter because you're not getting any views. You know what I mean? In the beginning, you're not getting any views, but you can put that into like if you go to the gym. In the beginning, you're not gonna see any results. You can go to the gym, and you're not going to see any results. Maybe it might take a month or 2 or 3 for you to see that shirt fit different or whatever, so on and so forth. You just have to go, or you just have to do it. And that's kind of my biggest thing, is if you want to do something, if you want to accomplish something, stop giving yourself excuses, stop overthinking it, just go out and do it.
I love that metaphor because essentially why it's really cool is because when you first go to the gym, you start doing all the reps. It really doesn't matter how hard you work. At the beginning, you're not going to see the results until just a little bit later.
Yeah, so I mean that's it, guys. You guys just go out and do it. You know what I mean? Go out and do it, and if you fail, at least you tried. You know what I mean? At least you tried, and that thought and that linger. Then you're really gonna overthink of, I could have done this with my life. I could have opened up a coffee shop, or maybe not even a coffee shop. Maybe like a mobile coffee shop. You know what I mean? Or something like that, a coffee cart. And you always wanted to, and you never did. Like, that's what I'm telling you. Just do it.
Yeah, I have that problem. I'm a constant overthinker. That's actually one thing I'm going to talk about. So that is one piece of advice I can give as well. But yeah, I have a huge problem with overthinking. So I overthink every single concept, like down to, like, even this camera setup. We got like 3 cameras, we got 4 cameras. I'm like, true, we need to get the tracking right. We need to get this right, get that right. It's just constant overthinking. And the number one thing is it slows you down. And sometimes it doesn't even let you start at all.
Yeah.
So one of the greatest things that I learned one of the greatest things I learned last year is to stop overthinking. Every single time you can, just stop overthinking and just go out and do it as well.
But there's give and takes. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I just do it. You know what I mean? I create the content, I just do it, and I put it out there. Sante's an overthinker. But Asante, you look at his content and it's so crispy, it's so good, it sounds amazing, you know. But in the beginning, you're not going to see any results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's the point? Mine, on the other hand, it doesn't look the best, but it's consistent. You know what I mean? So you're the yin to my yang because you push me to create better content and I push you to create content.
Yeah, so Chewy, he's beating me in like raw volume right now. I got him in quality, but he has me in like raw volume. And to be honest, volume beats quality. You know, most of the time, volume does beat quality because what happens is it's kind of like the whole entire Mr. Beast thing. It's like do 100 videos, and the next you know, you actually be better than the guy who spent 30, 40 minutes trying to make sure every single video was perfect just because you did so many reps.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, if you cover your bases, hook, right? You got your hook, you got your attention grabbers during the video. That's all you really need, right? And as long as you provide value to the audience, if you're teaching them something, if you're educating them on something, or if you're entertaining them, that's what you're doing. You're providing value. What kind of value? It could be education. It could be a review in something. It could be teaching something, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
But my actual thing that I was going to say, as far as what's one of the best things I can give to you guys from last year, it comes down to Alex Ramosi. Like, I've been watching a lot of his videos and I've been learning a lot. And there's like 2 takes that he's had. One take was do so much volume that it would be unreasonable for you to lose. And I love that quote because essentially what happens with it is you're like, I don't care about all the obstacles. I don't care about this, everything that's, not going to let me win, all the stuff that doesn't help me grow or whatever. You're going to push out so much volume that it doesn't matter. It'd be impossible to lose.
And it doesn't have to be content, you know what I mean? It could be if you're trying to lose weight, you know what I mean? Do so much that's impossible to fail.
Yeah, impossible.
Wake up, go for a walk before you go to sleep, go for a walk, go to the gym, go for, I don't know, if you work in an office, try to walk 4 times a day while you're at the office. I don't know, but the premise of it is that just do so much that it's impossible for you to fail. If you want to become a baker, bake till you become good. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna do this for so long, and you're gonna repeat the process. You eventually get good at it. So it doesn't have to just be content. It could really be anything, right?
Right. And then the other thing I learned from him is the whole idea of intelligence. So this is a very interesting take. We kind of talked about it the last time on the podcast. It's like everyone kind of hears knowledge is power, right? And I actually don't believe that anymore. What I believe now is that applied knowledge is power. So everything kind of comes down to behaviors and actions. You can have the idea of, oh, I need to save money because that's smart, right? But if you don't ever actually save money, then
You just entertain the thought.
you just entertain the thought. You learned it. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's a good idea. But if you don't actually do it, you're not actually applying it, then what was the point of ever learning it ever in the first place?
Yeah, so pretty much if you guys, they always say take everything with a grain of salt, but if you don't take anything, you're not taking anything with you, not even the salt. Essentially what he's saying is that you could watch, I'm one of these persons, you could watch all the content, all the videos of editing for your YouTube channel, but if you don't record for your YouTube, you were just entertaining yourself for the time being. You didn't, you might have took some of that information in and learned a little bit, but it's not until you provide action, right, that you're actually learning and doing.
Yeah, so number one thing, if I was to give you guys some advice for, this next year, think about everything you've ever learned and actually apply it. Everyone knows going to the gym is smart, working out smart, saving money is smart, but if you don't actually apply these things, then by definition, then you're doing the dumb thing, and that technically makes you dumb. So I realize even if you're a smart individual, if you're not aligning what you know is smart and performing actions to those things, then technically that makes you dumb, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that I knew this, I'm just like, dang, that kind of makes me rethink about every single thing I've ever learned in my entire life. And I was just like, you know what? If I learn something, I'm going to focus and actually go out and do it as fast as possible. So the new definition of being smart is how fast can I teach you something, and then how fast can you actually start doing it and applying it?
So mine's not more of a question, but it's something that I want to communicate. And it's we've talked on the podcast about reading books. We say how a man who reads is a man who lives 1,000 lives, where a man who doesn't read just lives one. And we live in an age where we're connected to everybody and everything, and everybody's sharing their story, and everybody's telling you, what they did wrong. And one thing I want to add is take advantage of that. Take advantage and listen to what people have to say, because people are helping you. You might not even know it, but people are helping you because they're telling you how and why they failed. You know what I mean? They lived it. They went bankrupt, or they lost their business, or that idea didn't work. So when you're consuming this content, when you're watching this, take note. Take note and look and reflect and tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because this person obviously did it. Now, that doesn't work for everything. You might do it, it might work for you, but just take it into consideration that didn't work for them. This is how they did it. I need to change something. I need to change my approach. I need to change my action, my delivery, and do it a certain way. But that's something I would definitely encourage everybody to do, is to learn from other people's mistakes. What do you think?
Absolutely. That's one of the smartest things you could ever do. And that's literally the whole entire point of this podcast. I was talking to Chewy. That's literally how this thing totally got started. We have a lot of phone conversations, and I was just like, Chewy, bro, all this stuff that we talk about, I feel like we could be sharing it to the entire world.
So, absolutely. You guys are consuming content. Definitely listen. Don't just sit there and I don't know, sometimes you're just like kind of watching it, but really think about, really dive deep and see what they have to say, and just how you pay attention to what worked for them, pay even more attention to what didn't work, because that might save you time and money at the end. Right?
Right.
You want to add anything to this?
Nope, that's all I got.
Got the next question?
All right, next question.
That was fire.
I know. I love these questions.
They said on our live, what you're saying is true. Yes, please. We've lived it, we've learned it, and it took us a long time to realize that. So definitely, apply that in your life, and you will be successful. My question is there anything you wish you would have done different in 2025?
Oh, the inverse.
Yeah, inverse.
Man, I'm not a man.
Or anything you wish you changed?
I'm not a man of regrets. Like everything I do, just because I'm not a man of regrets, because I overthink every single action. That's why.
So there's not one little thing you wish you did different. You could literally say you wish you procrastinated less.
Okay, we'll go that one. The only thing I ever always regret every single year is just like, I wish I would have did something faster. That's always been my number one regret every year. It's like, okay, if I would have learned this and kind of talking about what we were talking about a second ago and applied it faster, I would have been way better off.
That's true.
So it's just like this whole entire YouTube thing. I wish I would have did it faster. I wish I would have learned these concepts faster, but that's kind of about it, honestly.
For me, this might sound like, I don't know, it might sound a type of way, but for me, I wish I would not have spent so much time consuming, a certain type of content that was just like a distraction. Like recently, we've both talked about how we're consuming a lot of Diary of CEO. He has great health content, business content. I've been consuming a lot of business content because I'm looking into one day owning my own business. So I wish that I wouldn't have consumed as much like of the content of like entertainment. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's entertainment, though.
I don't think so.
Well, actually, it kind of is, but not all of it. His podcasts are so informative that.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish I would have had more of those podcasts, listen to more of those podcasts, and maybe watch. I love like LZ, but I watch like a lot of Adam LZ. You know what I mean? I'm not really learning anything. I'm just getting entertained.
Yeah, that is pure entertainment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe more so, not consume as much entertainment and more informative content on YouTube. You know what I mean? But that's just one I wanted to throw in there.
Oh, actually, what? I do have another one I want to add.
Go ahead.
Because this whole entire podcast literally today is going to be about things we learn. from last year. So funny enough, this is something I literally learned on the last day of the year, New Year's Day. So it counts. But one of the things I learned, because my biggest issue in life in general, I'm gonna say, is discipline, and I'm pretty sure that's the biggest issue for a lot of people. I lack discipline. I'm like, I think I could be a lot further in life if I had more discipline. I'm also inconsistent. Like, I'll show up at the gym. I mean, lately I've been showing up at the gym more and more, but it'd be like I'll show up at the gym maybe a couple times a month. Before I was doing it for maybe like 3 or 4 times a week. Then it became a couple times a month. But the number one thing I want to work on is discipline. So I watched a YouTube video, like we were talking about. I watched a YouTube video, and I learned a lot of good stuff from it, and I'm actually going to apply it. So one of the things I learned from the video was essentially the best way to become disciplined is to not look at it as discipline at all. 0%. The best way to become disciplined is to look at everything as a challenge. Okay? So it's like, okay, I challenge you to go do this. So one of the things that I learned is you want to set up a challenge, and then you also want to set up gratification for achieving that challenge. The first thing I told Chewy, I was like, I got some fire advice for you.
You did.
Fire advice. I was like, okay, first thing in the morning when you wake up, I want you to set up a challenge for yourself. Go to the gym before you can look at your phone.
Do 10 push-ups before you look at your phone, something like that.
Yeah,
right?
10 push-ups before you look at your phone. Go for a walk before you look at your phone. And tie the gratification to looking at your phone. Because everyone wants to be on their phone. You want to, check, hit back your people that called you, text you back, go on Instagram, watch a reel or two. You want to do all that stuff. But tie whatever action that you need to do in your life, and then the gratification is to whatever you want to do after that. So yeah, go to the gym, then I can look at my phone. So for me, I've been posting a lot of content, and the reason why is because I tied to looking at my phone. So right now it's like, okay, I need to post 2 reels a day, one on my personal page and then one for the podcast. And then after that, I could be on my phone and do whatever I want. So it kind of creates this, I have to achieve these tasks. And that's what's been helping me before. And then it's also like, you want to treat it like a video game where you're leveling up your character. So it's like, okay, I was telling my other friend this. We were like, okay, how many times do you want to go to the gym? They were like, I want to go to the gym like 3 times a week. So we did the math. The math was like 156 times throughout the entire year. Okay, so you need to show up at the gym 156 times the entire year. Every time you show up at the gym, it's 1 point, right? So you got to level up your character. So we went to the gym like twice already, so now you're at level 2. So you're just building up your own personal character, building up your skill set. And what's funny about the whole skill set thing is when you first get started, you're going to be trash, right?
Yep.
You're going to be trash. Your skill level is going to be super low. But as you keep doing it, your skill level is going to get higher and higher. But how does this actually relate to you? Well, as you do it, you're going to become better at it. And eventually it's going to become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it's going to be easy for you.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good example because you said it was 100 and what, 153?
156.
156. So you know you can get to a level 156.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon.
You know what I mean? You know you can get to a level 156. But if you don't go one day if you go only 2 days out of the week, now you know that the best you can do is 152. So that's going to motivate you to keep going. You know what I mean? It's going to motivate, oh man, I already missed 3 days. The best I can do is 150. You know what I mean? So that's pretty good.
Well, actually,
fire.
there's 356 days, so you have a little bit of leeway with that,
But you know what I'm saying, right?
But yeah, I know
the premise. Yeah. I mean, that's what they say. They say if you like, it's all about like, that dopamine hit. If you want to accomplish tasks in your everyday life, they say write them down. Write them down, because you can start off with 3, 4, 5 tasks. You know what I mean? If you want to do your bed, as soon as you wake up, you do your bed, right? Well, you write it down, and what happens? After you're done doing your bed, you cross it off. When you cross it off, you get that dopamine hit because you just finished the tasks. So essentially, what you're saying is like a long format of that.
Yeah, but what's cool, it's like every single day you want to set it up to where you have to achieve these tasks. You set a goal for today. Okay, today I need to do this. Today I need to accomplish this, and then I can enjoy that. And you want to make sure you, like I said, gratification is a really big deal. So you want to make sure you tie gratification to the end of it because that's what's going to drive you and push you to go and achieve it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see your growth, if you're gonna take this approach. You know what I mean? And to see, I know you gave me an example that you looked at some cookies on the counter and you're like, I can have the cookie or I can level up my character.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't have the cookie and you leveled up your character. So I'm excited to see the results of you know, what you're cooking right now.
Yeah, so yeah, treat everything like a video game, and everything's like a challenge. It's just like, okay, challenge one, this is a boss fight. That cookie was a boss fight. You know, we fought, you know, and I won. I walked away. So I leveled up my character.
That was awesome. That was a good question.
I think this camera turned off, so I'm just gonna check it really quick.
Yeah. And for everybody who was on the live, this is you're watching Two Guys One Garage podcast. Give us a like, give us a follow, and give us a comment, please. We appreciate it. And our camera died. One of our camera died, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. You wanna get on this line?
I don't even know why this thing died. That's the probably worst part.
Maybe he was running low.
Oh, it's dead.
Josue Martinez, what up, baby? Hey, Josue's on here, brother. You remember Josue, right? I'm sorry, Josue Melendez. I apologize about that, Josue.
Dang.
I know it's Josue because I saw his truck.
That sucks, because that camera is fully charged. So I can't use that.
So it just died on you?
Yeah, we're figuring things out. That camera's not going to work for this.
Wow. There you have it. That's not going to work. Your phone. What up, Josue? Hey, brother, I hope you had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, brother. And I know we don't see each other. Every once in a while I see you at work. But just know I'm rooting for you, brother. And I hope you accomplish all your goals and your dreams in life.
All right, what's a habit? What's one of the best habits you learned from 2025?
One of the best habits I learned from 2025. Do you know yours?
I kind of just said it, honestly. The whole video game challenge.
Well, mine just goes back to you know, just doing it. You know what I mean? It's not a habit. It's just doing it, you know. Like, stop procrastinating, stop overthinking it, and just do it. That's mine. I mean, it's really, I think that was probably one of the most important, biggest things I took of 2025. Starting YouTube was just, you know, getting down, getting dirty, doing everything you can to just do it and accomplish that goal. But that's pretty much it for me, you know.
I just love that so much, dude. I love that so much. The idea of just go do it. It's just so fire, bro. I mean, it's such a
Nike
simple...
lucked out with that one. Just do it.
I know. We look at that quote. We hear that quote all the time, and it just kind of like goes right out of our mind. But that quote is so good. It's so important because it's just like, for me, I'm an overthinker, so I overthink every single concept, and it's just like this overthinking is killing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And that's probably the best habit I learned too from 2025 is to not overthink, and just go do it. Because when you overthink it, it's just like, you can't even get out the house.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing though. Let's say that you have an idea, right? But you don't know how or why you're gonna dive into it, right? Get out the house, you know? Get out the house, get out of your own head, go for a walk, you know? Go to the gym, go do something you enjoy to you know, just let the juices start flowing in your body and your mind going so you can maybe reflect a little bit and think about what you're doing, because just staying home, being depressed and not wanting to do anything, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? That was a big thing, especially for like during COVID. Everybody's locked up at home. There's people who are going to take advantage of that and who are natural creatives, you know what I mean? And they're going to thrive in that environment because now they can focus on them. But there's people who are going to take that and they're just going to go, they're going to go down, they're going to go down, they're going to go down. They're going to spiral, you know, into oblivion and just go down the wrong path. So get out of your own head and just go get out, you know what I mean? Go take a nature walk. I mean, I know you love those.
I don't do those enough. I do not do nature walks enough.
Did you want to know my question?
Oh,
are you done?
Or no, not yet. So the whole entire overthinking thing, it's just like when you go do it, you know, you provide that action, and that action reaffirms yourself, you know, so it kind of gives you confidence. But the whole entire overthinking, oh my God, I suffer from that so bad, dude. It's so bad.
What do you think it stems from?
Maybe the desire to be perfect.
Is it any of your parents overthinkers?
I don't know, to be honest.
No. So the desire to be perfect.
I think it might be the desire to be perfect.
But you ever heard there's no such thing as perfect?
That part.
You know what I mean?
That part. Yeah. And it's just like, I can't say that enough. I really just cannot say that enough. It's so important to not overthink.
Well, there you have it. Mine's like, again, inverse. You know what I mean? I'm gonna switch it up on you. Well, this is our first podcast of the year, our first video of the year. In 12 months, what do you want to look back on and you see yourself, you reflect what you accomplished?
Consistency. Number one thing is going to be consistency. If I can keep up the posts, the goal is literally to do at least 2 reels a day. So if I can look back and be like, okay, I posted 700 reels for the entire year, I'm going to be ecstatic, bro. Ecstatic. I'm going to go crazy. So yeah, if I can just keep leveling up my character, I'm going to be happy. I want to start filming more. I'm going to start doing that, working on the cars, really diving into just do it. I want to get out of my head. I'm tired of being in my head. Like literally being in my head, it's gotten to the point, it's straight toxic at this point. It's completely toxic. Like I'm at the point where I don't even want to think anymore. I'm so tired of thinking. I'm burnt out of literally thinking. I'm done with it. I just want to do pure action, and I realized that's like been my number one thing holding me back. So I just want to do pure action, lock it in, post as much content as possible. I'm locked in. I'm so fired up for this year. I don't even.
So that means come December 31st, you're gonna throw on this podcast, and you're gonna look at yourself, say this, and you're gonna tell yourself, I posted content, I stayed consistent, and you're gonna hold yourself accountable, correct?
Holding myself accountable. You guys are filming. You guys are my witness right now. We are live. 700 reels for the entire year. That is the goal. I need to hit 700 reels for the entire year.
And that's one of the positives about us creating content is that you're watching yourself and now you got to hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean? You walk the walk, but can you talk the talk? You know what I'm saying? So you can literally go back and reflect and see, did I really do that? Yes, no, maybe so. And that's just one of the other advantages of doing content on YouTube is what's it called? The accountability. You know what I mean? It's always there. I mean, how many times have you been thinking about something and you open your phone and someone liked your reel? You know what I mean? And you see it and you're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do that today, and I just saw we got a like on that,
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but we tie our self-esteem to these videos,
Yeah.
You don't want to, but it's hard. You can't help it. You can't help it.
I say don't tie your self-esteem, but tie accountability maybe.
Accountability.
Accountability. And for me, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. For me, the same thing is to stay consistent. You know what I mean?
Consistent.
Because we said we're going to do this for a year, and we're going to reflect and look back at how we did. So I think I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm having a slump because I'm having a crisis between the quality of my content, the amount of time I have to actually, how could I say, almost script my content, almost script my content, and I just want to provide value to my subscribers, you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like it's not that I'm not providing, but I just want to do better. But I'm having a battle between time, family, podcasts, and it's a juggling act. It's literally a juggling act, and I'm trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? But I know if I stay consistent, the quality will be there, the content will be there, collaborations will be there, a whole bunch of things. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, you collaborated with some of your friends too, right?
I did. I collaborated with Wrist Unwound. Yeah, I collaborated with Wrist Unwound. Great guy. Did you see some of that video?
I haven't had a chance.
No,
I've been working, bro.
We have a short on YouTube that you can look. I collaborated. Not even, I wouldn't say collaborated, but I did collaborate, but I didn't. He was, it was New Year's Eve, and he was live, and he said, if anybody who's willing to get on the podcast, you know what I mean, send me a message. And I did, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm going to step into the other room real quick. I'm going to fix my mustache and I'm going to go live. And it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure being on his show. and he's actually one of my he's somebody I look up to because of the quality of content that he produces. It's amazing, and it's I would love to get to his level one day. But he said something like you said. He said he's a perfectionist. You know what I mean? So the reason why
He posts a lot of videos.
he posts a lot of videos.
Bro, I don't know how he does it, bro. He's killing it, bro. He posts so many videos, so many videos.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was cool, and I'm hoping that in 2026 I do a lot of more collaborations. You know what I mean? A lot more content with other content creators. I know that later this month or next month I should be doing some content with some of my friends. You know what I mean? Regarding their watches. And I want to tell a story. I think I've told you this a lot of times. I want to tell a story, and I not just tell a story. I want to one day provide you the story and be the one selling you the watch and selling you the story so you can tell that to your kids or your family one day. But yeah, it was cool. It was definitely really cool collaborating and going live online. Something I'm going to probably try to look into a lot more this year.
Oh, we also need to start bringing some people onto the podcast, you know?
Yeah, we do.
We talked about that.
And it's easier now. Now we got all these cameras. We could probably start, hitting up some of our mutual friends and have them on the podcast if they don't mind showing up a little early, That'd be cool. Maybe you guys see that in the next one or the one after that. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Because I love getting, I love talking to you too. Don't get me wrong. I love talking to you. But, getting more perspectives is always fun,
And we'll keeps it refreshing to the audience,
Panda hit us up. He says he wants to be on the podcast.
So. Panda wants to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Panda, a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Fernando wants to be on the podcast. My brother wants to be on the podcast. Panda wants to be on the podcast. I know some of your friends want to be on the podcast. I think it'd be good will be good if we start with some mutual friends. You know what I mean? Because we are in my garage, and we'll go from there. But that's definitely something we can look into. It'll be really cool.
But you guys gotta be ready because it's gonna be 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just letting you know right now. You gotta wake up at 5, bro. All
right, do your makeup.
Do your makeup.
Do your mustache.
Speaking of mustache, bro, I'd be so mad because every time I film, my mustache is cooked every single time. I'm just like, dang, man. I hope it's not cooked. I don't even know if it's cooked during this video right now either.
Shout out to Josue. Josue, you're watching us live, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. I hope you're doing well and your family's doing well.
I don't have an answer, but this is a good question.
All right.
What matters less to you now? What matters less?
What matters less to you? Ooh, that's a fire.
That's a good question. I don't have an answer yet. Do you have an answer?
I kind of do. This is going to sound weird, but maybe like I don't know how to say it. Like, that saying, keep your circle small. Maybe the approval of others. You know what I mean? Maybe the approval of others because not me right now at this point in time, but like I've definitely seen what, when you get a little bit of success and maybe you get a little bit of money coming in, how there's so much haters around you. You know what I mean? Like in your family, even in the friend group or people around you, they hate on you, brother, because you're finding a little bit of success. Maybe you're making a little bit of money. You know what I mean? And it's like, get that out of here. You know what I mean? Keep your friend group small. Worry about your family and the people in your circle who actually, if they tell you something, it's gonna mean something. You know what I mean? Don't worry about all the naysayers outside your circle, all the negative people, because at the end of the day, they're just, they're hating because they're not where you're at, but they don't know all the time and effort that you've put to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, actually, I got my answer kind of from you a little bit there too. Like for me, it's why do you care about other people's opinions? Kind of the same thing. Like when we're filming a whole bunch, that was one thing Chu was talking to me. He's like, bro, you're not yourself on camera. And a lot of it was just because I didn't even know how, because when you're on camera, it essentially kind of feels like you're standing on a podium and everyone in class is like looking at you. That's literally the best way it feels.
Yeah.
But, over time, I'm starting to care less and less. And I'm starting to become less and less fixated on that, The number one thing I fixate now the way I see camera is just like, you guys are my friends. And I just want to communicate and talk to everybody. When we film here, to me, it feels like I'm just hanging out with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't come to your house, you know, I can't hang out with you, but I can film really quick and I can talk, we can have a conversation this way, and I can post it, and in a way it feels like I'm hanging out with everybody.
Right. Especially when you see engagement in the comment sections and the likes.
Yeah, when you guys comment down below, you know, it's like we're all hanging out, we're all talking, it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like, for me, that's it. You know, your original question was what?
What's something that matters less to you?
What's something that matters less to me? The people around me. You know what I mean? Not my circle. My inner circle matters the most it's ever mattered to me now. You know what I mean? But your outer circle doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's 100.
sorry, not
yeah,
sorry.
110% feel that, especially just from, you know, that whole entire idea of filming. Like, there's times I'll just go and play music. I'm not even gonna care. Like, I don't care if you can hear it. You know, I don't care. You know, the whole filming thing, I film now, and I don't care if someone's watching me film. So it's just like kind of that whole idea of, you know, other people's opinions of what I'm doing.
And if you're not doing it, you don't know what it feels like, right? Like, I walk into a pawn shop with my camera and people are just staring at me. You don't know what it feels like until you're in that situation. You know what I mean? But once you're there, you're just like, hey, F y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just doing my thing. You know, and just don't be rude. Don't film them or whatever. You know what it is? You don't want to start a confrontation or something. But yeah, in the beginning, you're kind of like, oh, geez, you know, what should I do? You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I always told you when we were filming, like, you're not yourself, because I felt like you're putting on a persona. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're putting on a persona for what you wanted people to see, maybe when they saw it. But I always told you, like, bro, you're like one of the coolest guys I know. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? And if you just be yourself and you're genuine, that's going to take you places. Because I feel like there's a shift in the content creation world where we're going from like all these fake influencers and fake people to people now just looking for people who are authentic and real. My wife literally watches like YouTubers drive into Starbucks, you know, talking to their subscribers about their day, about what they're doing, about what they're up to. You know, them getting home, their house might be a mess, and like that's you being real, you know what I mean? And I remember you told me like, oh, that's great content, bro, because then people go on there and start telling you, hey, clean your house, you know, and you get engagement, but it's just authentic, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and maybe that's why they like it.
People love to talk crap about you. They love it. But, you know, it helps the algorithm. Like, every time you guys comment and stuff, it provides engagement, and, you know, the platforms push it more. So we thank our haters, you know?
Yeah. And it's crazy because I know, for one, in my shorts and in my reels on YouTube, there's haters on there. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I've never seen you. I've never said hi to you. I've never done you dirty. Like, why you just want to come on here and spread your negativity and ruin somebody's day?
I literally posted a reel the other day. It was, you know, I want everybody pretty much, hey, what's something you learned from 2025? And one person was like, get a job. I was like, dang. I don't think he meant that as a advice. I think he meant that as like as an attack, you know?
Yeah, he was definitely trying to target you, you know what I mean? And that's what's funny though, because I've gotten some comments, right? And I'm such a positive person, and that I sent it to Asante. I'm like, yo, is this guy talking mess? Or is he being like, is this satire? Is he talking, you know what I mean? Or what's going on here? And Asante be like, no, bro, he's joking on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was definitely an attack for sure.
You know?
That was an attack for sure.
Like, I forget those guys. You know what I mean? There's just people who don't have nothing else better to do in their life, and they're just reflecting how they feel about themselves. You know? And now I'm the one talking mess. Right? But yeah, that's fire. That's fire. That's gonna be a reel. I know it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. What did you learn about loneliness?
Loneliness.
What did you learn about loneliness?
What did I learn about loneliness? I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't like being lonely.
You don't like being alone?
I mean, no, not. I mean, maybe okay. I like being lonely when I'm gonna clean my house. I feel like when I'm alone and I'm in my house and I clean, shoot, I put on a podcast, I'm flying. You know what I mean? And I clean the house so fast, and that way I like to clean. But in general, I don't like loneliness. But I've also, I don't know, maybe I felt like I haven't been lonely in a very long time. I have kids. I have a family. I have a beautiful wife. So I don't know much about it at this point in time. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's a better question for me.
But what about you?
All right. What have I learned about loneliness? So I pretty much went through a whole breakup like a couple years ago. So I've been single. So essentially, I've been able to just work on me. And when you have a chance to work on yourself, kind of going back to the whole over analyzing thing, I overanalyzed everything. I was like, okay, I went from rock bottom. Let me build myself back up. So I learned a whole bunch of stuff about myself. So that's kind of the biggest things I learned from loneliness is how to rebuild yourself from ground up and all the things, all the inefficiencies that you have, like procrastination, the overthinking, all these things that we've been picking up and learning and then like the whole entire putting action forth. So what I learned about loneliness is essentially how to become a better person.
So in the darkness, you found the light.
Yeah, in the darkness, I found the light.
Ooh, that's fire. You know what's crazy is your whole demeanor changed when you just talked about that. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's authentic. You know what I mean? That's how you know you went through it. You got the battle scars to show it.
Yeah, I got scars for days, bro.
You know? And it's just one of those things where you live and learn, right? I don't like to be lonely personally. You know what I mean? And, but I feel it. I feel it.
I love being alone, to be honest.
Like
Absolutely love
at
it.
your house or like not like in your relationship? Can you like dive deeper? At work? You know what I mean?
I love both. It's kind of those things. I was talking to my other friend about this too. It was like the whole entire idea of appreciating every aspect of everything. When you're in the highs, love the highs. But when you're in the lows, love the lows. So even if you're sad, say you're depressed, you're sad, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I mean, think about it. When you're sad and depressed, you go through so much. You go through so much pain, and you grow from it. And then it's kind of like planting a seed. If you look at a rose, it's already beautiful, right? But if you look at the seed and you plant the seed, you have plenty of room to grow. So when you're sad and depressed, don't think about it as, this is the end of the world. Think about it as, okay, this is just a moment in time. But when I look back, I'm like, man, that was beautiful. Because for me, when I was sad and depressed, I started going to the gym. I got my body in shape. I'm in the best shape of my entire life now. And it was all because of what happened, you know? So the number one thing when I talk to people is just like when it comes to life, you need to love every single aspect of life, not just love the highs. You need to absolutely fall in love with the lows.
One thing I've always said, and when like a motto I live by is, and I tell myself this every day, my worst day is someone's best day. You know what I mean? Your worst day is someone's best day. You know what I mean? Someone wished they had your life. Someone wished that they were in the situation that you're in, because maybe the situation they're in is just completely utter, below where you're at, and maybe they have health problems and they wish that they can complain about, I don't know, they got my coffee wrong at Starbucks, you know what I mean? Somebody
Yeah.
wishes they can complain about that, but they're in a hospital sick, you know what I mean? Or, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're sick right now, I'm sick right now, and I was literally telling this to myself yesterday, that I'm sick, but I'm like, no, you know what, my worst day is someone's best day, because I know there's someone out there going through even more adversity than I am, and they wish they were in the position I am right now, Drop us a like on the video, please, guys. Comment, subscribe. Leave us some what you learned in 2025, some of your experiences and how you learned them. What's something you learned the hard way?
I hate to say the same thing over and over and over again, but it's the whole entire overthinking thing. I'm really I cannot express how much that's held me back in my entire life. So bad.
So how far do
So
you think you
bad.
would be if you didn't overthink?
I'm probably behind like 10 years. Like 10 years, bro.
Excuse me.
It's just like when you overthink, you don't get nothing done, dude. You get absolutely nothing done. You just stay stuck. You stay stuck in your mind and you get absolutely nothing done. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I realized like number one thing is like you are your own worst enemy, bro.
Oh, that
You
is
are your
fire.
own worst enemy. The only person stopping you in this entire world is you, bro. It's not the government. It's not Trump. It's not this. It's not that. It's not the economy. A lot of people like to place a lot of blame on a whole bunch of other things, but the only thing stopping you is you, bro. And it's just like the faster you learn that, the faster you get out of your own way, the better off you'll be. Like every time I go and drive my car and I'm in traffic, I'm always thinking about quotes. And it's just like, okay, I'm driving, right? And other people get in your way. You know, you got the stop signs that get in your way. But ultimately, if you need to get out the house and go for that drive and actually start going, you know? So it's just like number one thing, stay out of your mind. To me, I'm at a point where my mind is completely toxic to me. My mind is straight toxic. Like all these thoughts that I think, they're straight toxic. The less I think, the better off I'll be. That's the number one thing I realized. The less I think, the better off I'll be. The more I put straight action into everything, the better off I'll be. Action dictates everything, not your thoughts. Your thoughts kind of they push you in that direction, but without action, nothing matters. So you need to focus on action, focus on doing, do as much as possible because it doesn't help to think you're going to be the best. It doesn't help to think you're going to achieve all these things. It doesn't help to feel you're great. None of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter how much research you put into something. None of that stuff matters. The only thing matters is actions that you put forth. So it's just like, just go do it, bro. Go do it. Lock in, go achieve something. Fight for that stuff. So it's just like, yeah, I'm done, dude. I'm done being in my mind. I'm done with it.
Don't be a victim. You know what I mean? Don't have a victim mentality. Don't think that the world's out to get you. That's just, your brain and your head playing tricks on you. You know what I mean? Don't listen to society because we live in an age where everything's, everybody wants to be a victim, but you're not a victim. You know what I mean? He said it yourself. Get out of your own way. You know what I mean? Get out of your own way. Stop overthinking it. Do what you have to do. Be a man, be a woman, and just go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, do it.
Yeah, child love, just do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I'm so tired, dude. I'm tired, bro. Like my thoughts are straight toxic, bro. I can't.
He's literally telling you he's tired of himself, his mind making excuses for himself. That's literally what he's saying. He's tired of his own head making excuses for himself, and he just needs to do it. But he's aware.
I'm so done with thinking. Like at this point, I'm straight practicing meditation at all points. Like, oh, okay, okay. When I talked to Chewy, there was like this. I had this main thought process.
Wait, cue in the Dragon Ball Z music.
Yes, sir. You know exactly where I was going.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
So I called Chewy. We were talking, and I was like, "Bro, I learned something fire today." I was like, "Okay, what'd you learn?" I was like, "Okay, think about Dragon Ball Z. Think about Jiren, right? So what is Jiren constantly doing at all points in time? He's meditating, right? So essentially, he's in constant state of meditation, and he only exerts his energy at certain points in time." I was like, dude, this is fire. I was going to realign that whole entire principle and think thoughts are like key, right? I'm going to conserve my key. I'm going to save this energy, and I'm only going to use my key when I absolutely need it. Because other than that, then I'm just pure wasting it
Right.
at this point. And then it's also like we talked about, thoughts are toxic. If you are your own worst enemy, then your thoughts are straight toxic. So I'm only going to exert my key when I absolutely need it, and I'm going to be in constant state of meditation. So that's one thing I'm actually working on for 2026 is being in constant state of meditation at all times, and I'm only going to think when I absolutely need to. And, if you can do that, you're going to lower your stress. You're going to be a lot more healthier because stress can literally kill you. It lowers down your immune system. A whole bunch of things that kind of play into that. So it's just like if you can focus on being thoughtless at all times and only thinking when you absolutely have to, you're going to be in a whole entire another level.
So essentially he's saying, if you never tried it, if you think it's cheesy, if you think it's silly, try meditating. You know what I mean? And it can mean something different for everybody. It could be you sitting in a quiet room by yourself and closing your eyes and saying, It could be you laying down, putting on some music, and just, try to not think of anything. Maybe just take in the music. What he's trying to say is that he just, get silent. You know what I mean? Stop thinking about everything and just let it go silent, right? Stop spending your time and energy in thinking of that and just do it. Well, I think that's it for today, guys. I hope that we drop some bombs for you guys. I hope that we drop some knowledge. I hope that you leave in the comment section what you learned in 2025 and what you took away, and maybe give us a story on how you came up to that conclusion. Let us know what happened. Like I said, we want to learn from your mistakes. You learn from our mistakes. Let us know what you did wrong and how you learned that lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to build a community here.
Like, follow, and subscribe, and we're almost to the 50 subscribers, right? We're almost to 50 subscribers.
We've been picking up. I'm super happy about that. We've been picking up subscribers, slowly but surely. Just gotta keep posting.
And if you enjoy our content, please share it, and spread the word. We want to make this a community and something big, you know what I mean? And we appreciate you guys. But you're watching
2 Guys,
1 Garage podcast. That was fire. Bye live. What?
We have a lot of viewers.
187 viewers?
Damn.
That's not bad, right? That's not bad at all. Is that a new record for us? Yeah, because last time was like 40, remember?